Hack the planet! Hack the planet!
Shut up again!
Hey there, HackerFrogs. It's me, the Shy Hat, and we're doing a stream about Hackmyvm.eu. Well, specifically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on two different topics today. The first topic is going to be the Hackmyvm.eu HMV labs, and we're doing the easy level Chapter 1 Venus lab over here. And then we're going to be working on another Hackmyvm.eu challenge, which is going to be the Webmaster machine. So we started the Webmaster machine yesterday, and we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun hacking against it, and I think I know where to go because we hit a little bit of a wall when we were hacking it last night. But I think I know what direction to move in right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the Venus labs over here. And we left off on level 11. So let's continue. And I'm going to move into my temp directory. I've got 3 tabs over here. So we can hack on 3 different fronts. Although I don't think we're necessarily going to be using 3 terminals at the same time, but we might. Okay. So we left off on level 11, and that is the Lucy user. So we were keeping track of our passwords in a file, but unfortunately I put it in the temp directory, which means it's deleted now. So we're going to start that up again. It's going to be, we're going to echo out. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is the Lucy password right here. And we're going to echo this out to Venus Pass. All right, so now we can log in using SSH. So we're going to SSH as Lucy. On port 5000. Okay, so if anybody wants to join in along with us, the details for the Venus Lab are over here on the relevant web page. So the host, let's make this nice and big so we can read it. So the host is going to be venus.hackmyvm.eu. The port is going to be 5000. The username is going to be hacker, and the password is going to be have fun! So if you use these credentials right here and you have access to a terminal, whether that be a Windows terminal, a Mac OS terminal, or a Linux terminal, you should be able to participate by using SSH. So let's begin. So we're going to do Lucy SSH as Lucy user at venus.hackmyvm.eu on port 5000. Okay, so it's going to ask for Lucy's password, I think. So I've got my Venus pass over here, and we're going to copy this password over here. And then we're going to supply it to the SSH terminal, paste that in, and we are now here. Okay, so this is the Lucy level. This is level 11 of Hackmyvm.eu Venus Labs. So let's cat the mission file out. As it says here, this is mission 12, and the objective is the password of the user Elena is between the characters FU and CK. That's very mature. All right, so it's supposedly in this file.yo file over here, I would assume. So if we were to cat that out, file.yo, there is a bunch of different strings. So what we need to do is we need to find the characters that are between these letters right down here, FU and CK. Like in the previous levels, we're going to be using the sed tool in order to do this. So it's going to be sed-n to specify a pattern, and then we're going to put the pattern between these single quotes. And we're going to run it on file.yo. So what we need to do is we need to signify that we're putting the characters that are supposed to be the bookends inside of dot star and star dot, and we also have to specify this right here. So it's /\1/p. So this is the syntax for sed. I don't necessarily use sed on a very regular basis, but this is what we determined. So we have to supply the FU and the CK, but we also have to supply slash and then open parentheses, open bracket, caret, and then greater than sign, close bracket, and this is what we're looking for. So it looks a bit convoluted. Oh, no. Wait, we need more. We need a little more. It's going to be star and then backslash CK and then dot. Okay, so I'm going to level with you, and I'm going to say that I got this off of after doing some searching. I don't necessarily know what all of the symbology over here means, but this apparently is how you use sed to look for strings in between two different sets of parameter strings. So let's run this. Okay, I think I need to let me check my syntax one more time. So sed. Oh, okay, we have to start this with an S and then a slash. This is such a long and convoluted string. But anyways. And I think we forgot to close out the parentheses over here. Let's do this. Okay, so this is the string that's going to return whatever is between the FU and the CK. And this is the password we're looking for right here. So we just need to copy this password, and then we are finished. Okay, so let's copy this out to our Venus pass file. So this is level 13, and the user is Elena. Let's paste in the password. And then let's move on to the next level. So the next level, we're logging in as the Elena user. And we need to supply the password, paste in the password, and now we are permission denied. Let me take a look at that password. This should be in. I'm going to copy it and then paste it in. That's strange. So let me. Am I logging in as the wrong user? Let me check this one more time. Oh no, I misspelled Elena. Okay. So that's why it didn't work. Okay. Okay, now we can log in. All right, so this is the Elena level in the Hackmyvm.eu Venus Labs CTF. So we're going to cat the mission file over here. So this is mission 13, and it says the user Alice has her password is in an environment variable. Okay, so all we need to do to retrieve the password is to print out our environment variables, and you can do so with the following command. So the command is just print env, and then we're going to get all of our environment variables in our current session. Okay. So among everything in here, so we've got our terminal, our username, we've got a password, an SSH client. Okay. And we see here that we've got our password is this. So all we need to do is copy this, and then that is the password. So we just, from there, we're done, and we can exit. Okay? All right, so let's copy the password over to our Venus pass file. This is level 14, and the user is Alice. And we're going to print out the password, paste that in, and now we can log in as Alice. So let's copy this. And let's use our SSH command to log in as Alice. We're going to paste in the password. Okay, so this is the Alice level of the Hackmyvm.eu Venus CTF. Let's take a look at the objectives in the mission.txt file. So this is mission 14, and the level description is the admin has left the password of the user Anna as a comment in the file password. Okay, so this is a little bit more complicated than you would assume, because accessing the comments inside of the password file in Linux is a bit is not very intuitive. So if we were to just cat out etc password, and we were to look for something like password. Oh, so we need to grep that. Yeah. And we were to grep password, we wouldn't find anything. But if we were to look for Anna, we don't necessarily find anything useful over here. So what we need to do is we need to use a very specific command, which is cut D, and then we're going to do fields 1 and 5 in etc. password, and we're going to grep for Alice. Okay, and then we see Alice is associated with this password right here. So we can copy this password, and we would normally be done, but let's take a look at what happens if we don't grep for Alice when we do that command. So in this case, there seems to be a comment field for every user on the system, but only Alice seems to have a comment, something in alongside the comment over here. So this is the password for Alice. Okay, so we're done. Let's exit out of here and paste in the password in our file. So we're going to use echo, and this is level 15 that we're pasting into. The next user was the user Anna, and we're going to paste in the password there. Okay. All right, so let's log into the next level then. So we've got our password for Anna, and we will use SSH as the Anna user. Paste in the password. Okay. This is the Anna level in the Hackmyvm.eu Venus CTF game, and we can take a look at what we need to do for this level by reading the mission.txt file. Okay, so this is mission 15, and the description says, maybe sudo can help you to be Natalia. So Natalia is the name of the next level, and what we need to do is we need to use sudo. So to check your sudo permissions with any given user on the system, you just need to do sudo -l, or some people like to call it tackl. Maybe I should do that from now on. Okay, so inside of the output, it says user Anna may run the following commands on Venus. So as the user Natalia, without prompting a password, we can run bin bash. So what we can do is we can run bin bash, basically get an interactive terminal as the Natalia user by doing the following. So it's just going to be sudo -u for user. So we specify the user, it's Natalia, and the program is bin bash. And what this is going to do is going to create a user session as the user Natalia. So we do that, and then the prompt changes. It says that we are Natalia at Venus. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move to the Natalia user's home directory. So it's just going to be cd by itself, and then we move over to their home directory. So let's take a look at what is in the directory. So we have Natalia's password over here, nataliapass.txt. Let's read that. Okay, so this is the password, and we are finished. Okay, so let's record the password for Natalia now. So that's level 16, and the username is Natalia, and the password we're going to paste in. Okay. All right, so let's log in as the Natalia user now. Paste in the password. This is the Natalia level of the Venus CTF game on Hackmyvm.eu. So Let's take a look at the mission for this particular level by reading the mission.txt file. So this is mission number 16, and it says, the password of the user Ava is encoded in the base64.txt file. All right, so what we need to do in this level is we need to take this base64 string and we need to decode it. So if we cat out this file right here, base64.txt, we'll see that we have a base64 encoded string. You can recognize a base64 encoded string because it usually has uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and a few different symbols. But more specifically, if you see a number of equal signs at the end of a string, and it also meets this criteria, it has uppercase, lowercase letters, and numbers, then we can usually assume that it is a base64 encoded string. So what we can do is we can use the base64 command with the tacd function, and we're going to specify a file. So it's going to be base64.txt. So if we run that, then we get this password right here. So we just need to copy the password, and we're finished. Okay, so let's echo out the password for level 17 Ava into our Venus pass file over here. Okay, so let's move on. So we're now going to SSH into the next level, which is level 17. Let me take a look at, oh, this is level 16. Okay, all right, so we're going to log in as Ava. This is the Ava level on the Venus CTF lab on the Hackmyvm.eu website. Okay, so let's take a look at what is in the directory. So in order to finish the mission, we have to first take a look at what we need to do inside this level. So to do so, we're going to read the mission.txt file. So this is mission 17. It says the password of the Clara user is found in a file modified on May 1st, 1968. So the interesting thing about this particular level is that looking for files that were modified before a certain year on Linux systems and Unix systems is actually very difficult. Well, not very difficult. It just requires a bit of doing. That's all. So, just for reference, let's ask ChatGPT. Hold on. Let's try looking this up. What is the earliest time that Linux records? Okay, so maybe I need to search for something else. What is the earliest time you can search for with the Linux find command? Okay, so let's try to search for what is the earliest timestamp for Linux files. What is the earliest Unix timestamp? Okay, So the Unix epoch is the Unix epoch 0 is on 000 UTC on 1st of January 1970. So the system uses a negative number to represent any timestamp before that. So this is the problem with trying to search for files that were created before 1970, and but we're able to do so if we use the following format. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the find command on the entire file system, and we're going to look for a file, which is type F, and then the M time, the modification time of the file, is going to be plus 18440. I think that's the number of days. So it was modified this number of days ago. So this should correspond with the, this should go beyond the date of May 1st, 1968. And we're going to send all of the error messages to the dev null device. Okay, so this is how we're going to find a file that was modified on May 1st, 1968. So we find this file right here. So what we need to do is we need to read that file. And that has the password for the next level. So the next level is Clara. All right. So we're going to copy this password and we're going to be using this in the next level. So we are finished. Okay, so we're going to record this as level 18. So this is Clara, and the password is this right here. Okay, so let's log into next level. So we're going to SSH as Clara. Provide the password, and then we're in. This is the Clara level of the Venus CTF game on Hackmyvm.eu. If we take a look at the objective for this level by reading the mission.txt file, we see here that this is mission 18, and it says the password of user Frida is in the password protected zip. rocku.txt can help you. Okay, so the problem with this level is that we're not able to use our password cracking program on this server. So for instance, if we were to look up which John, there's no John the Ripper. And if we were to ask which hashcat, there's no hashcat. So what we need to do is we need to download this file, protected.zip. So in order to do so, what we can do is we can read the file, cat protected.zip, and then we're going to encode it into base64 so that we can transmit it to our Kali Linux machine. So we're going to do Zohaib, hello. Hello, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you earlier today. Let's give you a fun little redeem. Hack the planet. Yes. Thank you very much. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the file cat-protected.zip, and then we're going to pipe it into base64, and it's going to encode the file and give us the output in base64 strings. So this is the string over here. We can highlight this and we can copy it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our Kali terminal. And inside the Kali terminal, we're going to echo this out. And we're going to echo it out, and then we're going to base64 decode it. And then we're going to pipe that into protected.zip. Okay, so all we need to do is we need to insert the base64 encoded string and then run this to create a file called protected.zip. So let's do that. Okay, so now we have our protected.zip file over here. So before we can crack the hash on this file right here, we need to. So first of all, let's make sure we can't just unzip this by itself. We can try the unzip command, unzip protected.zip. It says protected. It's going to ask for the password. We don't know the password, so we're just going to use Control-C to get out of here. Zohaib-Hassan says, do you turn low latency on? I'm not sure if I have low latency on or not. I just have YouTube usually has a bit of latency, maybe about 20 seconds or so. So you might notice a bit of a lag between what you put into the chat and what you see on the screen. But that's fairly normal for a YouTube chat. If you were to use Twitch chat, then it would probably be a bit. The response would probably be faster. Okay, so what can we do? So in order to crack the password for this zip file, we would need to use a utility file called zip2john, and we're going to do is we're going to extract the hash from the protected.zip file, and we're going to protected.zip, and then we're going to output that to a file called protected.hash. Okay, so now we have our protected.hash file over here, and that's ready for John the Ripper to do brute forcing on. So this hash right here, we're going to try to crack this hash using John the Ripper. So it's going to be John and then the word list rocku.txt. So it's just John -- word list. It's going to be rocku.txt, which has a bunch of very common passwords. And we're going to run it against protected.hash. Okay? So this is going to try to crack the hash by testing it against a bunch of passwords. Zahiv Hassan says you can turn on ultra low latency on YouTube Studio for almost real-time connection. Okay, well let me take a look at YouTube Studio and see if I might not be able to do this while I'm live, but I'll take a look. So I'm going to look at YouTube Studio, and Pizza Mon says, good teacher, thank you very much, Pizza Mon, and welcome to the stream. Let's give you a fun video redeem, and this is All the Things. It's my favorite hacker-related rap. Okay, so I actually don't know where I would look for this ultra low latency on YouTube Studio. I think I might look for it later, but Zohaib, if you know where to look for it, then I would appreciate it if you could point it out to me. But all right, so what have we found? So John the Ripper has done brute force password cracking against protected.hash, and we found this password right here, pass123. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to use this password against the zip file. So let's try to unzip protected.zip. So it's going to be unzip protected.zip. It's going to ask for the password. We know it's password pass123. And we're able to extract the file because we knew the password for the zip file. So let's read this file. This is the password. Okay, so all we need to do is copy the password, and we are finished. Okay, so Zohaib says, you gotta tell new viewers coming in to sub to the channel and like the stream. Oh, okay, sure. All right, so everybody, if you're new here and you want to get cybersecurity content, you can go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're on YouTube, and you can follow if you're on Twitch. I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, so Hybe also says you can watch a quick video related to ultra low latency. All right, I'll take a look at that video a little bit later. Maybe I'll look it up on my YouTube right now. Ultra low latency live stream YouTube. Okay, so I think I have I've got a couple of videos I can look at a little bit later, but thank you very much, Zohaib. Okay, so this is the password for the next level. So what we're going to do is we're going to echo this out. So this is level 19, and the user is the Frida user. And we're going to paste in the password. Okay, yes, everybody, thank you very much. Smash the subscribe button if you can. I would really appreciate that. Okay, so this is level 19, and that's the next level we're going to be doing on this challenge. Okay, so we're going to SSH as the Frida user. And everybody, if you want to follow along, you can go ahead and follow along with us. If you're interested, please let us know in chat, and we'll give you the SSH command as well as the password for the current level that we're working on. You can also find more information on this page right here at Hackmyvm.eu. You're going to need to have a valid user account to take a look at this page. But basically, what you need to do is you need to connect over SSH on this server right here on port 5000 as the user hacker. And the password is going to be have fun ! Okay? All right, but we're on level 18 currently, so let's continue on. So let's grab that password, and we can continue on. All right, so this is the Frida level of the Venus CTF labs over on Hackmyvm.eu. So let's take a look at the mission.txt file to see what we need to do for this level. So this is mission 19. It says, the password of Eliza is the only string that is repeated when unsorted in repeated.txt. So we're looking for the only string in a file that is repeated when the file is unsorted. So the file that we need to look at is right here, repeated.txt. And if we were to read that, it's just a bunch of different strings over here. So what we need to do is we need to find the string that is repeated. So what we can do is we can use the following command. It's going to be the unique command with the count on repeated.txt, and then we're going to sort it. So we're going to sort it afterwards. That means we're going to pipe it into this command over here, sort. So we see that the repeated string is this one right here. Everything else is listed as appearing once, but this one is listed as occurring twice. So this is the password right here. We copy it, and then we are finished. Okay, so let's copy that password to our collection of passwords over here. And that was the Eliza user. So we're going to record this as Eliza, and we're going to paste in the password. Okay. All right, so next we're going to log in as Eliza and take a look at our next mission. So we're going to copy the password, and then we're going to SSH as Eliza. It's going to ask for the password, so we're going to paste it in. This is the ELIZA level of the Venus CTF lab from Hackmyvm.eu. So in order to take a look at what we need to do for this level, we're going to read the mission.txt file. This is mission number 20. And it says the user Iris has left me her key. So they've left me her key. That's interesting. So Zohaib says, bro, why don't you make a full course on cybersecurity for beginners in one single video? For example, go to YouTube and search bro code. He's got 2024 JavaScript course and create something like that. Well, I'm actually recording these levels right here for a series of videos I'm going to be doing. I'm not necessarily going to be recording a very long video. I'm going to make a bunch of short videos that cover each one of these levels, and I'll be uploading them as part of a series. So, but they're going to be pretty short videos. They're going to be between like 1 minute and like 5 minutes for each video, and that's my plan for this right here that we're doing right now. Okay. So the user Iris has left me her key. Let's take a look at what's in the directory by using ls tackla. Okay. So we've got this file over here called .iriskey. This is a hidden file. And if we were to read it, so let's read the file. And what this is an OpenSSH private key. So using this private key, we can log in as the Iris user. So what we need to do in order to do that is we need to copy this. We're going to copy the contents of the key. And then on our Kali Linux machine, we're going to use nano, and we're going to call this file iris_key. And we're going to paste in the contents of the file, and we're going to save it. So Control X to save modified buffer Y for yes, and press enter to save this file right here. So now we have a file called iriskey, which we could potentially use to log in as the Iris user. So what we can do is, so this key right here cannot be used as it is because the file permissions on this file are a bit too loose. What we need to do is we need to set the user settings on this file so that it's not readable by anybody that is not the current user. So we need to do chmod 600 to set those specific file permissions. So we're going to run this on iriskey, and now it's ready to be used as a SSH private key. Okay, so in order to do so, we need to use SSH -i, and -i means we're going to be using a private key. So we're going to use the iris_key file, and we're going to log in as iris at venus.hackmyvm.eu on port 5000. And now we're in as the Iris user. So that is the end of the level, but we also need to grab the password for the Iris user. So let's read that password. This is the password we're going to be using to log into the next level. So we're going to copy this. And then we're finished. Okay, so let's see. So Zohaib says there was the 2024 JavaScript course. Create something that he has the same course like you're talking about. Check the course in case you get the idea. Okay, so on my other monitor, I'm gonna look up this this video, and this is bro code, and it's a JavaScript course. Okay, so I see it's called JavaScript Tutorial for Beginners, and it looks like it's a series of like 90 videos or so. But all right, thank you very much for the recommendation. I'll take a look at the playlist after the stream is over. Okay, Zohaib says the editing is simple and good. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I try to be pretty clean about my editing. Oh, there's a full course for free. Oh, that's a 12. This is 12 hours. That's a long video. Okay. I don't know if I can make a 12-hour video, but thank you. Well, I'll take a look and maybe I can get some pointers. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to exit and then we're going to log into the next level. Okay, so we're going to SSH as the Iris user. And we're going to paste in the password. Okay. This is the Iris level on the Venus CTF game on the Hackmyvm.eu website. So in order to finish this level, what we need to do is we want to read the mission.txt file. So this is level 21, and it says user Eloise has saved her password in a particular way. So what is this particular way? Well, let's take a look. So we've got the Eloise file in here. Let's take a look at that. So it seems like this is a very long file, and I think this might be base64 code, but I'm not entirely sure. So what we need to do is, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. So just for fun, we're going to ask our good friend ChatGPT what it thinks about this file. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to ChatGPT. Oh, that's not what I want. I want this. Okay. We're going to go to ChatGPT, and we're going to ask, please analyze this this string. And then we're going to paste in the string. We're going to add there was an equal signs that we weren't able to get when we copied it. So we're going to ask ChatGPT what it thinks about this. So the interesting thing that ChatGPT is able to determine about this is that it says the string you provided appears to be base64 encoded data. Upon analyzing the string, it most likely represents an image, potentially a JPEG file, since it starts with /9j/, which is common for base64 encoded JPEG images. So what we have here is a JPEG file. So what we need to do is we need to save this out on our Kali machine. So in our other terminal, we're going to create this file. It's going to be named Eloise.b64, and then we're going to paste in all of that output, and then we're going to save this file. So Control X to save modified buffer Y for yes, and then press enter to save the file. And now we have this file, Eloise.base64, in our directory. Okay, so in order to turn this file into a JPEG image, what we're going to do is we're going to run base64 in decode mode, and we're going to run it on Eloise.b64, and we're going to output this to a file called Eloise.jpg. Okay, so after we run that, now we have a file named eloise.jpg, and the file command recognizes this as JPEG image data. So on Linux, on Kali Linux specifically, if we want to read this file, we want to use the xdg open file in order to read the file with its intended app. And we're going to run xdg open on eloise.jpg. And this is the password right here. Unfortunately, we can't copy this, so we're going to have to copy this out manually. Fortunately, I've done it. Fortunately, we can take our time and copy this out, and then we're finished. Okay, so let's exit from the level. Okay, Zohive says, here what you have to do, start from basic topics and create one single video related to that and cover that complete topic, and then move on to the next topic, having a separate video for each topic until you covered all topics from basic to advanced. Well, what I do on my channel is I tend to cover basic topics. I don't tend to cover very many advanced topics because the channel theme is cybersecurity for beginners. So I don't usually get into, well, I mean, some of the topics are more advanced than others, but we never get into super advanced topics, is what I'm trying to say. And create a playlist for it like Broco did. Yeah, I certainly have a playlist. For example, if you take a look at my YouTube videos, let me just pull up my YouTube. So all of these beginner cybersecurity videos I've got in playlists, and what I have a lot of are these CTF challenges over here from the Pico CTF website, and I've got a bunch of different CTF playlists from different CTF events from Pico CTF, like Pico CTF 2022 or Pico CTF 2023, or sometimes we do Hack the Box stuff. Sometimes we do, but we have a lot of different playlists for the different videos that I make. But yeah, thank you for the advice, Zohaib. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Okay, so let's move on to the next level. So we're gonna copy over our, let's see, where were we? Right, so the next level is level 21. And the user is, the user is Eloise. And the password, I'm going to grab the password. Okay. All right, so let's log into the next level. Now we're logging in as Eloise. Paste in the password. This is the Eloise level on the Venus CTF game from Hackmyvm.eu. So in order to take a look at the objectives for this level, we need to read the mission.txt file. So the mission.txt file says that this is mission 22, level 22, and it says the user, Lucia, has been creative in saving her password. So what does this mean, creative in saving her password? So if you take a look at the contents of this directory right here, there's this hi file. So let's read the hi file, and we see that this looks like hexadecimal output, and this looks like what could be a memory address. So what this could be is a hex dump of a file, and hex dumps are created to create hexadecimal values for specific files. It's usually used in debugging, but what we can do is we can reverse this process right here
and we can turn this hexadecimal output into ASCII characters. Okay, and how do we do that? We're just going to cat out the hi file, and we're going to pipe it into the program that is usually used to turn files into hex dumps, which is XXD. And we're going to run that with the tac R for reverse and tac P for I'm not completely sure, but when we run it, this is the output right here. Let's ask real fast what the tac P is for in XXD. Actually, we could do XXD help. And we see here that tac P is let's run the manual on XXD. So it is not here. Let's ask ChatGPT. Okay. All right. What is the tac P flag on the XXD program? Okay, so the tac P flag in the XXD program is used to create a plain hex dump. This means that the output will be displayed as a continuous stream of hexadecimal characters without the typical line numbers.
a hacking?
This means that the output will be displayed as a continuous stream of hexadecimal characters without the typical line numbers and ASCII representation that are included in the default output of XXD. Zohad, thank you very much for the redeem. Anytime you are using the terminal, this is a hacking. Okay, so now we know what the tac P is, and now we can copy this password and we can finish the level. Okay. All right, so we're going to echo out this password as the Lucia user. Zohaib says, bro, you got to have professional thumbnails because they play a role to catch the viewer attention, see what other YouTubers are doing, like bro code. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I usually try to go for very simplistic and easy to read thumbnails for my YouTube videos. So if you take a look at the thumbnails I use for my videos, it's usually going to be the logo of a particular color for each series, and then I try to include some sort of little icon, and I try to include the logo for whatever website or event that I'm doing the video for, and then the title of the video is going to be in this text window over here. So it's so I've got a very standardized version of creating thumbnails for my YouTube videos most of the time. Some of them are a bit different, but most of the time they're very formulaic. All right, let's log into next level. I think this is going to be the final level we're going to do for this session, because we need to switch into our other topic for the day. So, oh my, this next level is a bit of a doozy. Okay, let's move into it. Okay, so we're going to SSH as the Lucia user in this next level. We're going to paste in the password. So this is the Lucia level on the Venus CTF Labs from the Hackmyvm.eu website. So in order to finish the level, we need to read the objectives in the mission.txt file. So we're going to cat that out, and it says that this is mission 23, and that the user Isabel has left her password in a file in the /etc xdg folder, but she does not remember the name. However, she has a dict.txt that can help her remember. So what we can do is we can take a look at the contents of this folder right here. So we can ls-la that folder and see what's inside. And we can't actually read this folder because we don't have access to it. That's a bit strange. But what we can do is we can take a look at the dictionary file. So if we cat dictionary.txt, we see that there are a number of different files. Oh, okay. So the name of the file is one of these in the dictionary. So what we need to do is we need to search for each one of these files in the dictionary file. And what we can do is so this is a fairly involved level. And what we would do is we're going to create a script in order to read each one of these lines in the dictionary.txt file and try to search for it inside of the etc xdg folder. So this is the script we're going to use. So it's going to be cat dict.txt, and then we're going to pipe that into zargs. So zargs is going to run a specific command on each one of these lines. So for each one of these lines, we're going to run a script that says that's going to recursively access the XDG folder in that particular line and test that particular line. Then we're going to echo readable file found in the etc XDG this particular line. We're going to exit, and then we're going to finish. Or we're going to echo no readable files found in / etc xdg directory. Okay, so what are we doing? So for each line in the dictionary.txt, we're going to run shell, and we're going to try to read that line plus etc / xdg. xdg, that directory. If it exists, then it's going to echo readable file found in, I can't spell today, xdg in with that particular line, and then it's going to exit and finish. Otherwise, it's going to echo no readable files found in that directory. Okay, so it's a bit complicated, but we're going to run this, and eventually we're going to find a readable file found in this directory with the README file over here. So if we cat out that file, then this is the password for the next level. Okay, so all we need to do is copy that password, and then we are finished. Okay, so that's all we're going to do for the Venus lab. The last thing we're going to do, just for the sake of completeness, is we're going to record the password. And that password belongs to the Isabel user. So let me spell that out. Isabel. Okay. All right. So let's move on into our next portion of the stream. So the next portion of the stream, let's pump up the jams and play some music. Okay, and what we're doing is we're going to be hacking against the we're going to do some free hacking. So the bottom here is going to be Hackmyvm.eu challenges. Okay, that's the same. And the top is going to be we're hacking against the Webmaster machine. Okay. All right. So to get this challenge started, we're going to start up the virtual machine associated with the with this challenge. Let me do that inside of my virtual box. So if anybody's interested in what machine we're doing, we're hacking against this target right here. And let me just grab. Oh, let's make this smaller. Okay, and we're looking at the machines, and we're looking at the. Oh, we need to sign in again. Okay, let's sign in again. And let's take a look at the machines. And this is the Webmaster machine, which is right here. So if you're interested in hacking along with us, what you can do is you can download this virtual machine and you can deploy it on your network along with your attacker machine. In my case, it's a Kali Linux machine, and we're going to be hacking on the same network over here. So let's recap what we found in the last session. So in the last session, let me grab my notes. So for this machine over here, there's port 22, 53, and 80 available on this box. The website indicates that this is the webmaster.hmv host. So we added that to our etc hosts file. So what do we mean? We mean that if we were to read our etc host file, we have these domains added over here. Webmaster.hmv, we've got ns1.webmaster.hmv, and we have got root.webmaster.hmv. These were the sub domains that we found. So I was thinking about this yesterday after I finished the stream about how we could potentially get enumerate DNS and to enumerate DNS to find out more about the machine. So this is the IP address that we have for this machine, and let's access this real quick. So HTTP 10.02.21. So it says, where did you save your password? And the employees all say Bitwarden, KeePass, and TXT. And then the boss gets mad and throws the guy out the window. Okay, so I was thinking about this, and the answer was staring me in the face this whole time. So DNS records have something called a TXT record, and sometimes there's information about the server that you can get from that. So that got me thinking, and I decided to ask ChatGPT about some methods that let you read TXT records. So it recommended the following. There's dig, there's NSLOOKUP, there's DNS Recon, and there's whois. So we could just use whois. So this is the easiest one. We'll try whois on this particular domain and see if we're able to get any information. So let's go back. So whois, and then webmaster.hmv. No whois server is known for this kind of object. Is it up? Let's do a ping against it. Okay, so it is up, and we were able to access the website. So do I have to put? I don't think I have to put an HTTP in front of this. Right. Okay. So who is for public stuff. That might be the problem. Okay, so let's try. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do either. So let's try DNS Recon. So DNS Recon, and they've got these flags over here for domainexample.com. Let's try that. Okay, so we'll try this command right here. I do believe DNS Recon is installed on Kali Linux by default. I think we were using it yesterday. And we're looking at webmaster.hmv. Okay, it says no dictionary file has been specified. No valid dictionary files have been specified or found within the tool. So DNS Recon. Let's look for a quick how-to as far as DNS Recon is concerned. DNS Recon cheat sheet. Okay, so this looks DNS zone transfer, DNS brute force. We're looking for, okay, so we have to use D to provide a word list. So capital D and then word list. Okay, let's try that. So capital D, and then we will look for a word list. I think I might be looking for subdomains. So locate subdomain, and we've got a bunch of subdomains right here. And this is a really big subdomain list. So let's grab this and use it as the word list. Okay. All right, so let's run DNS Recon. So we're doing host and subdomain brute force against webmaster.hmv. This might take a while, so we could switch over to another tool while this program is running. So what other suggestions do we have? So we've got the host program, a simple utility to perform DNS lookups. Host-t txt and then the domain over here. Okay, so let's try host-t txt and the name of the domain, which is webmaster.hmv. Host webmaster.hmv not found. Not found. Am I using the right syntax for this command? Okay, we can also use, maybe we should just use dig with the, so dig and then txt and then the domain. Dig txt domain, and the domain is webmaster.hmv. Okay, and we have some stuff over here. So we've got a.root servers.net. So I don't know if we can use this right here necessarily. Question section, webmaster.hmv in txt. Webmaster.hmv. So how do we? Okay, so let's ask for a little insight as far as this dig output is concerned. So it's going to copy this, and We're going to ask our friend ChatGPT if it can make any sense of this. Please explain the following dig command output, and then paste it in and ask the question. Okay, so we've got a header section. This indicates the version of the dig program being used. And you ran a query for the txt record of webmaster.hmv. Okay. CMD, a global option that controls the behavior of dig. In this case, it's just showing the default options. Got answer. This section shows the result of the query. So opcode query specifies the type of DNS operation, standard query. Okay. This indicates that the domain name webmaster.hmv does not exist in the dns.nx domain. NX domain stands for non-existent domain. Okay, so there's a query ID, question section. So this shows that you're asking for the txt record for the webmaster.hmv domain. Section indicates information from the authoritative name server, refers to the root of the DNS hierarchy, meaning that no authoritative DNS server for the HMV domain was found. The primary server for the root zone. The DNS server used for the query, which is on your local network. Okay, likely your router, sure. Message received size. The DNS query asked for the txt record of HMV, but the domain webmaster.hmv does not exist, hence the NX domain status. The domain webmaster.hmv only exists on the local network. How does this affect the results of the dig command? Okay, so let's see. The server doesn't have this information. It will attempt to resolve the domain via external DNS servers. Since it doesn't exist on the public internet, the server doesn't know where to find it, leading to an X domain response. The domain is non-existent from the queried server's perspective. Okay, so if this DNS server doesn't have the proper configuration, not knowing about webmaster.hmv or forwarding requests to an external server, the resolution fails. Ideally, if your local DNS server knows this domain and your dig query goes to the correct local DNS server, it would return the proper txt record. If webmaster.hmv is a purely local name, some network setups may require search domains or local name resolutions to be configured so that internal DNS queries resolve properly. So without this setup, external queries to a local-only domain like .hmv will fail. Okay, what can we do? We can ensure that the DNS server at this IP address is correctly configured to resolve internal local domains. We can point dig to your actual local DNS server. Okay, dig at local DNS IP. Okay. Oh, you know what? We might be able to point the DNS of the IP of webmaster.hmv for this. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, so we're going to provide the DNS IP, which is 10.0.2.21. And let's see if we get a different result after this. Okay, so it looks like this is different now. So we got an answer, and we got a cookie over here. So how is this? Let's ask and see how this this output is different from the previous output. Okay, this server knew about the domain, as indicated by the no error status, successful response, but didn't return a TXT record. I wonder why it didn't return a TXT record. So the domain was found, but there was no TXT record in the response. The DNS server at this returned an SOA, start of authority record, meaning that it knows about the domain but doesn't have the requested TXT record. Okay. So let's take a look and see if we got any. So we didn't get any DNS recon. So DNS recon didn't return anything. Okay, let's ask one more time about. Let's take a look one more time at the HackTricks page that talks about pen testing DNS. So let's make this nice and big. So different DNS root servers, okay, top level of the directory, okay. Banner grabbing. So dig version, okay. We can okay, so let's try using this dig command over here. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to go over to our terminal. And at DNS, we're going to point it towards the machine and see if we can get something over here. Version bind. Okay, so if we were to run this against Webmaster.hmv, okay, we get the same. It looks like we get the same answer here. But what else can we do? So we've got a script, then nmap script over here. Any record. The record any will ask the DNS server to return all available entries it is willing to disclose. So let's try this with dig. So we're going to paste this in, and the DNS IP, let's provide it. Okay. So we've got a cookie over here. The question is, what is this cookie? Victim.com? This looks, Oh, no. We're not looking for victim.com. Jeez. Why did I include that? No. We're looking for webmaster.hmv. Why did I not change that out? Okay. Okay, so we've got the opt sudo section. ns1.webmaster.hmv, root.webmaster.hmv. Okay, so I don't deal with DNS. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT how it interprets this information right here. So one more time, we're going to ask ChatGPT over here. We're doing a cybersecurity CTF challenge, and we ran the dig program against a server and got the following result. What should we investigate from here? And then we're going to put in the output. And let's see what it returns. In the CTF challenge, based on the DNS query, you can investigate next. Okay, the record points to ns1.webmaster.hmv and root.webmaster.hmv. Investigate these names further. The SOA record indicates that this is the authoritative DNS server and could reveal information about how the DNS is structured. So NS record, the NS name server record also points to ns1.webserver. Vanessa David Gaming, welcome to the HackerFrogs. Let's give you a fun little video redeem. This is I'm root.
What are you?
I'm system root.
Okay, so we're just having a bit of a time trying to do some DNS pen testing against this particular target on the Hackmyvm.eu website. So if you wanted to take a look at what this machine is all about, you need an account over at the Hackmyvm.eu website, and you can also download this machine and hack against it yourself if you like. What were we doing? We're taking a look at so in the CTF challenge based on the DNS query. Okay, so we can look at the ns1. So ns1 points to name server records. So ns1.webmaster.hmv. Since it is a self-referencing, check any anomalies or hidden information in here. It's a primary name server. Any vulnerabilities or additional data tied to it could be helpful. Okay. So the A record for ns1. Okay, it resolves to localhost. This suggests that queries are being directed to the local server, which means there is something specific to the local environment that you can explore. Since used in any query, all available records were returned. Consider whether other DNS record types, txt, mx, cname might exist but are not shown here by querying these individually. Recursion not available. This DNS server is not performing recursive lookups. So investigate this right here, ns1.webmaster.hmv, for further clues. Query specific record types, txt, mx, for more information. Okay, so we're going to run the same thing, but we're going to run it against ns1.webmaster.hmv and see if it gives us any different results. Okay, and maybe we can look at root. Interesting. I don't see anything super useful in this output. Query specific record types, txt, mx. Oh, okay, we could try looking for txt. So we're looking for any. We should instead look for. We should look for txt inside of ns1.webmaster.hmv. So we've also got root.webmaster.hmv. Let's try root. So this looks like the same thing over here. So we can also look for MX records. So we've got MX, Okay, well we can try that. So MX. And let's look for it in the NS1. Maybe we should try another tool. How would we proceed if we were using the DNS recon tool? Okay, so we've got a domain, we've got our queries for all available records, and we've got our DNS server right here. So let's try using DNS recon and see if we can get some different output over here. So this type is not in the list txt. So what is in the scan list? DNS recon help. So type of enumeration to perform. So standard is these ones over here. Is there one specifically for TXT? Okay, so let's try the standard one. Okay. So standard ST. Okay. So DNSSEC is now configured for this. Okay. And it says that no records were found. Let's try the same thing, but let's do against NS1. So same thing, and if we tried root, so nothing here. So we got an so we got a name server and we got an SOA. So in DNS speak, what is an SOA? Let's find out. DNS SOA. So an SOA record indicates who is responsible for that domain. Learn what goes into an SOA record and the purpose of serial zone numbers. The DNS Startup Authority SOA record stores important information about a domain or zones, such as the email address of the administrator, when the domain was last updated, and how long the server should wait between refreshes. Okay. So specific record types. If the any query doesn't match, you can query for specific record types. For example, we can look at for TXT records. If you have any IP addresses, you can try performing reverse DNS lookups to discover more hosts or services. Brute force subdomains. You can use a word list of brute force subdomains and potentially discover hidden services. So we've already, I think I already did this, but I think the syntax I used might have been wrong. So let's try this again. Right, okay. So I tried using the brute force before, but I think we need to supply an IP address in order to do this properly. So what I need to do is I need to supply the IP address. Okay, so this is going to take a little while. Let's see if we can... Oh, so it looks like we found some stuff. So we found ftp.webmaster, and we also found mail.webmaster. This is interesting, okay. So ftp.webmaster and mail.webmaster. Let's add this to our host, to our etc host file. So let's sudo nano etc hosts. So we're also adding ftp.webmaster.hmv, and we're adding mail.webmaster.hmv. Okay, so let's save this out. And let's see if we found anything else. So I don't think we found anything else, but we found FTP and we found mail. So let's see if we can access these from the web browser. So webmaster. Okay, so this is all the same. So let's try mail. So I wonder if we can run nmap against these new subdomains. So let's well, I mean, I guess we could try. So let's do that. So we're going to nmap, and we're going to T4, and we're going to scan with the very verbose on ftp.webmaster.hmv. Okay, so we found the same ports that we found on the previous one. Let's see if we could run it against mail. And we can try NS1. So it's basically going to give us the same results each time. Okay. So we found 5 records. We've got the www. I wonder if that's... How are these two different? www.webmaster and www.webmaster. These don't look any different. We've got a FTP. We've got an NS1. Okay. So we added these all to... You know what? Maybe we can ask for advice from ChatGPT and see if it can lead us anywhere, because I'm not really sure where to go next. We got the following output from brute forcing subdomains using the DNS recon tool. It might be worth checking this subdomain for an FTP server running and if anonymous login is enabled. So this is a This is a main web interface. You could explore this web server for potential vulnerabilities like outdated software. Okay, so I think I might add this. I might add this to the etc host file, and okay, let's add this to the etc host file. So www.webmaster. Okay. So I'm going to sudo nano. We're going to add www.webmaster.hmv. And we're going to save that out. And let's take a look at the website. So this all seems to be the same. I wonder if we're going to be able to find anything using using Nikto. So we can always nmap this first. So www. This is all the same. So let's try Nikto against these hosts. So this is against port 80, nothing particularly interesting found. Let's just try the FTP. Actually, you know what? We could also look for FTP using the web server. Using the web browser. So I'm pretty sure that we can access this using the FTP protocol. FTP, and this is against FTP dot. I don't think that that resolved the way I wanted it to. So if anybody knows how to do DNS pen testing, please let us know in the chat, because I could really use a clue over here. Because I've been banging my head against this this machine for the last couple days. Although we were able to find some subdomains over here, I wonder if I used dig, if I would be able to find anything fun from this. So it looks for TXTs on the FTP subdomain, and so we also found mail. We found www, and we found mail. But I don't think we necessarily found anything super substantial over here. What does ChatGPT say we should do? So this indicates the DNS. FTP is often misconfigured or insecure. We can check this subdomain for an FTP server. So we weren't able to find an FTP server. We could try just connecting for fun and see, if it just happens to work. So we can do FTP against ftp.webmaster.hmv and see if for some reason we're able to get in. We can't connect. Okay. All right. So that doesn't quite work. So we can explore the web application, investigate the FTP and mail services for re-credentials and misconfigurations. We could try GoBuster. So we've got GoBuster and we've got our new subdomains that we enumerated. So we could try GoBuster. GoBuster. So GoBuster dir against webmaster.hmv. And let's just look for directories on the subdomains. So for example, we've got the mail one, and let's see if we can find anything there. So far, we haven't been able to find any directory, but we haven't been able to use directory busing to find anything on any of these websites associated with the webmaster.hmv domain. But we could get something on these subdomains. Let's try it out. So that's the mail subdomain, and here is the FTP subdomain. Next, we'll try the www subdomain. Okay, so it looks like the FTP subdomain doesn't give us anything. We can try the www subdomain. And I think the last one we can look at is the... We could search for TXT files because there was something about TXT files in the comic that is on the web page. So over on this page, it talks about where do you save your password, bitwarden keypass txt, and then they throw the person out the window. So I get the feeling that there might be some sort of text file clue that could lead us to something good on this web app. So the www, we don't necessarily have anything good. Next, we'll check the mail subdomain, and after that, who knows? Okay, so let's try the mail subdomain now. Okay, let's see. So we tried using Nmap against all these subdomains. We weren't able to find anything. We weren't able to find anything new. Just the same 3 ports that are open. But we got FTP. We've got NS1. Okay, let's see how the scan is going. Should be finishing up in about 20 seconds or so. So we weren't able to find anything with the extension txt. Let's just try FTP for fun. And just leave that running while we take a look at some other possibilities. Cache snooping. That's interesting. We could try this. Another technique to perform DNS cache scooping, which will reveal if certain domains are cached on the DNS server. This might indicate other activity on the server. So let's try this. So this looks fairly straightforward. Copy the command, and then we'll try this on one of our other tabs. So over here, no dictionary files have been specified. Okay, so let's specify a dictionary file. Let's locate our subdomains. So maybe this one. Okay, and then we'll supply this as our list. Snoop cache, performing cache snooping against this NS server right here. Localhost type A. So if this doesn't work, we could try against the other subdomain, which was NS1. That might get us some better results. But this has really gotten me interested in doing DNS pen testing, because this is something I haven't really considered too much about, doing like DNS as part of security testing. And I think after this, I might be looking at other modules that teach DNS pen testing and see if I can learn more about this particular technology. So NS1 dot. Let's try that. Okay. Zone transfers. So I've heard a lot about DNS zone transfers. Let me ask what DNS zone transfers are. What are DNS zone transfers? And how do we do security testing for them? So a DNS zone transfer is a process of copying the contents of a DNS zone from one DNS server to another. This is primarily used for redundancy and load balancing between DNS servers. DNS zone files contain detailed information about the domain, such as domain names and subdomains, associated IP addresses, mail server records, MX, and name server records, NS. There are two types of DNS zone transfers: the full zone transfer and the incremental zone transfer. Transfers only records that have changed since the last update. So I guess this would give us the most information among these two. Zone transfers are a crucial part of DNS infrastructure and can pose a security risk if misconfigured. An attacker gaining access to a zone transfer could obtain detailed information about the network, such as internal hosts and servers, which can be used for further attacks. So how do we can test for DNS zone transfer vulnerabilities using several tools. Here's how. You can use dig for zone transfer. You can manually attempt a DNS zone transfer with the dig command. Here's an example. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this and see if we can find anything with it. Okay, so we need to specify the domain. The domain is, let's try webmaster.hmv. And the name server is this IP address. Okay, so we have a username and we have a password. We have a username and we have a password. So my hidden password and John. So we have a John user. We have this. Okay, so we found something. We found something. So I guess that's a win. Let's celebrate by redeeming a little Hack the Planet.
Hack the planet! Hack the planet!
Okay, so let's. So this was the zone transfer we were talking about, and I'm going to copy this command and put it in my notes because this was a very important command for solving this particular room or this particular VM. So I'm going to copy my hidden password and I'm going to try to log in using SSH. So it's 10.0.2.21 and it's the John user that we're logging in as. And we're going to paste in my hidden password. We're in! We're in! Put on your hacker voice. Say, we're in. All right, we managed to do it. Okay. So we had a flagged script file. Interesting. Jeez. Okay. So I'm going to cat out user.txt. It is this. Great. Please don't steal from me. And we're going to input it into the Hackmyvm.eu website. So we're going to input that. Oh, we have to sign in again. We need to go to the machine and we need to look it up, Webmaster. Oh, geez. Okay, so this is it. Paste in your flag, submit the flag, and we got the user flag. Awesome. All right, so let's take a look at this flag.sh file. Actually, you know what? Let's look at what is in this directory here. So we've got user.txt, we got a profile local directory. Okay, we're flag.sh. Let's see if we have any sudo permissions on here. So user John may run the following commands on Webmaster. All, no password, user sbin nginx. That seems like it would be something that that we can abuse. So let's look up GTFO bins, gtfobins.io, and let's look up nginx. So nginx, no binary matches, but I'm pretty sure we can use nginx to do some sort of privilege escalation. So let's look this up. Nginx Linux privilege escalation. So what does it say here on the Hacktricks website? Missing root location. The root directive plays a critical role in defining the base directory. Alias LFI misconfiguration. Okay. Unsafe path restriction. Unsafe variable use. Any variable. Raw backend response reading. Merge slashes set to off. Okay, so let's take a look at the flag.sh file. So we can execute it. It is owned by John, and this is flag.sh. I don't see how could this help us? Let's cat it out. Okay. Cat root.txt cat user.txt echo keep trying. Okay, this doesn't necessarily, I mean, we could run this. Let's try running it. So we got the user flag, but the root flag, we weren't able to read it. So we're John. So we've got these are our groups over here. I don't know if these groups help us or not. We are able to let's move over to the web root directory and see if there's anything interesting there. Okay, so we've got comic.png, we've got index.html, and we have index.nginx debian.html. Let's see if we can read that. Web server is successfully installed and working. Okay. This is a default web page. Okay, so I'm interested in this right here. So we can use the nginx command as root because we have sudo access to it. So how can we abuse this to either get a root shell or to read arbitrary files on the system? Okay, so I think I'm going to move back to the home directory. I think what we could do is we could, if somehow we were able to run the flag.sh file from the web server, then we would get the root flag. So we've got the root, so it looks for, it's going to cat out the root flag, and it's going to cat out the user flag, or it's going to echo keep trying. So let's run the script real quick. And the only flag we get here is the user flag. We don't get the root flag because we're not running as root, so we don't have access to it. But wait a minute. Cat root.txt, dev null, cat user.txt. Oh, it's doing one of these three things. It's going to echo keep trying, or it's going to cat the user.txt flag, or it's going to cat the root.txt. Oh, wait. Let's take a look at our environment variables. So, okay, this doesn't necessarily help us, but so root.txt, user.txt, how does it know where to find these? If we're running it from, I guess if we're running it from this directory, this current directory right here, then it can cat out user.txt. But if it's not, then okay, what we're going to do is we're going to move this to the temp directory just to do the experiment. So we're going to copy flag.sh and we're going to copy it into the temp directory flag.sh. We're going to move to the temporary directory and we're going to run flag.sh. So flag keep trying, so that's because there's no flag in this directory. So if we were to use this script to read root.txt, then this flag would need to be in the root directory. So we can't go in the root directory, permission denied, because the root directory, yeah, we're not able to take a look at that directory. So we could look at that directory by looking in the top level directory, in which root is locked down, so we can't access it. But we can use nginx. So how would we use nginx to, let me do a little bit of research. Okay, so Linux nginx privilege escalation. Nginx root privilege escalation. Okay. So what does this say? Nginx web server packaging, okay, found to create log directories with insecure permissions, which can be exploited by malicious local attackers to escalate their privileges from the Nginx user to root. I don't think this is it. Okay. All right. So it's been fun. It's been fun doing hacking tonight against this system. We're finally able to break in because we're finally able to get our DNS pen testing off the ground. So thank you very much for joining us in our journey. We're probably going to be doing at least one more night of hacking against this machine right here, as we try to figure out how to use nginx to do privilege escalation. So actually, you know what? Really quick, let's try asking ChatGPT if it has a clue. So if we have sudo access to the nginx program on a Linux server, how can we use this access to obtain a root shell or read arbitrary files on the system? Exploit misconfigured sudo permissions. Okay. If nginx is running with a configuration file that reads or writes, you can be able to use sudo to edit or replace it. Check nginx configuration. So the configuration files, you could attempt to modify a configuration file to include commands that will execute arbitrary code. You can add a directive to execute a shell command, create a new local configuration with a command execution such as this. Return cat etc password n, then reload the nginx configuration with sudo. Okay. Access the / location of the server and check if the command output is visible. If the nginx binary is running with elevated privileges, you can try and exploit it by running it with a specific command. Okay. So all right. So I'm going to try to use some of these suggestions in the next stream because it is past my bedtime and I want to get to bed at a reasonable hour. But thank you everybody who participated in today's stream. To our good friends, Zohaib Hassan and everybody else who came by to chat. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Have a great night, everybody.